Hi Libra, welcome to your Uranus in Taurus special with me, Raphael Ray from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for being here. So, this one everybody is buzzing about, and it happens tomorrow if you are watching this. Because today is the 14th. So if you're watching this on the 14th, then you know it's tomorrow. So why is this a big deal? This is a big deal because Uranus takes an entire 84 years to travel the zodiac, and 84 years is roughly the lifespan of a human being. So in terms of that, it's kind of thought of that, you know, because it takes 7 years to move through one sign. So as it moves through the whole zodiac, it moves through all the stages of human life. So the fact that it spends 7 years in one single sector is a long time. You know, if you look at interestingly enough, actually, if you look at the skin cycle, the skin growth cycle of a human being, it travels in 7 years. So at 7 years, 14 years, and 21 and 28 years, your skin and all of its cells have completely regenerated from the bottom upward. You know, just something to think about. So Uranus into Taurus. So what is Uranus? Uranus, like whatever you say, however you say it. Uranus, this glyph actually represents a satellite. And so, you know, it's actually Uranus is the modern ruler of Aquarius, and so therefore it represents abstract thought. It represents different, or sometimes even strange, or perceived to be strange concepts. It represents higher octaves of thought. It represents thinking outside the box. It represents finding a different solution to something that's considered a common problem. You know, it's that kind of energy. It's a very fast energy. The difference between Uranus and Pluto, both are planets of change, but Pluto is a planet of transformation, whereas Uranus is all about smashing open the door, creating big waves, big changes, and saying, look, this is it, here it is. It's the planet of revolution. It's the planet of rebellion. It's the planet of change, and swift change at that. When you look at the tarot card that rules the planet Uranus, you're actually looking at the Tower. And if any of you, you know, for those of you that have been with me from the beginning, you know by now, the Tower card is about swift, huge, sweeping change that happens, you know. And the other thing as well, because this is the planet of Aquarius, so it's the spontaneous and the unexpected. It's the thing that you cannot anticipate. It's the events, the happenings, the type of people that are spontaneous, and, you know, the kind of people that kind of put you on edge a little bit, because it's like, oh, okay, well, you never really know what to expect from them next. So there's that. You know, it's also, like I said, the planet of revolution, the planet of rebellion. And this actually, you know, moving into Taurus, Taurus is the complete opposite. Taurus is the sign of Earth, because it's the sign of fixed Earth. Taurus represents the monetary system. Taurus as the second house rules finances, the things that we value, our self-esteem, our self-worth, the things that we value, the way that we value them, the reason that we value them. It's all of those things. It's all of the things, you know, it's the money that you make from the job that you have. It's the money that you know, the income that you have, that you directly earn, and that's why it has strong links to your self-worth and your self-value. Taurus is also food, it's agriculture, it's the land itself, it's the animals on the land, it's the environment, it's the you know, it's all of those things rolled into one. So when Uranus moves into the sign of Taurus, so we've got big, swift, revolutionary, upheaval sort of change. And then that's moving into a sign that doesn't like that. You're going to get some sparks that will fly. You're going to get some, you know, some majorly transformative events. And we're not talking about sort of like Pluto will take its time and get to the root of the problem. Uranus will just come in and, you know, blast the fuck out of it until there's just a crater left and you got to start again. But therein lies the liberation. One of the things about the Tower card as an experience is it kind of represents the ability that you have to rebuild and regenerate once everything is reduced to rubble. Now, the other thing as well about the Tower card, I just want to mention this before I go into the astrology of this, and you know, we're going to pull some cards as well and see what comes up. The other thing about the Tower card is it's about the cracking of illusions, and so therefore when Uranus moves into Taurus, we might see big shifts in the financial system. We might see big shifts in technology that towards you know, towards making the environment better, to healing the earth, to promoting well-being, to promoting healthier foods. You know, all that kind of stuff is ruled by this. Now, I've got my notes, my trusty notes about the astrology. For you, Libra, this takes place in the 8th house. And the 8th house is the deep, it's the dark, it's the taboo, it's the subjects that we don't tend to broach. It's sex and sensuality, and it's the unashamedness of that sex and sensuality. And it's also, the thing about Scorpio is, it's the reason it's known as the deep sign, or the deepest sign, or the darkest sign, is because of the desire aspect. It's about the thing that you really desire, you know, like the kind of desire that comes from in there, whether you're male or female, that gets you truly and, you know, really excited and really emotive and really involved in what you desire, you know, and your desires are strongly linked to your base or root chakra. So this will be taking place in your 8th house, and you can see yourself learning about different aspects of yourself through sexuality and sensuality. It can see you being drawn to new experiences within this arena of life and not being ashamed to do so, as I've said. It can see you embrace your kinks and really get in touch with your deepest desires and urges within and without the bedroom. Now, that is kind of the long and short of it. Like I said, Scorpio is all about desire. It's about what you desire and how you desire it. And it's about understanding the reason why. It's about understanding what that kind of says about you to you. And for you as well. This isn't about judgment. In fact, it's about the opposite. It's about getting to really know yourself on a deep, intimate level, you know, from your sensuality and your sexuality aspect, you know, the body, Taurus, the earthly part of it. And you know, for you guys as well as Libras, relationships, you know, what are relationships? A healthy relationship is one that has a healthy sexual interaction, a healthy understanding of the balance and the interaction of partners on a sensual level. You know, the 8th house actually rules other people's money, in direct opposite to the 2nd house. You've got the 8th house, and the 8th house is about other people's money. It's about other people's resources and how they are willing to give you those resources, willing to invest in you, willing to work with you. You know, and it has all of those kind of all of those feels to it. The other part of this as well is, you know, the 8th house rules psychology. So this is about you understanding on a deep psychological level, you know, what are your kinks? You know, what are the secrets and the whispers and the deep desires and fantasies that you hide, you know, that you keep clamped down within yourself. Uranus coming into Taurus, which is happening in your 8th house. So if you're a Libra sun or a Libra ascendant, this is going to be especially relevant for you. You know, this is Uranus going into Taurus, which is it going into your 8th house, then really asks you to look at and observe and examine what your deeper motivations are, how you interact with other people on that kind of level, how you express your sensuality and sexuality. Are you the sort of person that's kept it clamped down for a very long time? If you are, ooh, it's about to be liberated and somebody's about to get ruined. You know, just to make a little bit of a joke of it and keep it sort of light-hearted as well. But the other part of this is, like I said, it's about you getting to know what your deepest desires are, what your deepest motivations are. This can also, because this is the house of taboos, it's also the house of magic, it's also the house of, you know, anything like that. and this could see you having, or you know, almost like a hypnotic sexuality and sensuality, about to the point where you're able to literally entrance people with your sensuality and sexuality, and you know, learning when to switch that on and when to switch it off, and learning what the difference is between sexuality and sensuality, you know. So really, it's kind of an exciting time actually. 8th house is that of sex, death, and the taboos with Uranus here. It can bring, or allow me to say, a surprise ending or death. You know, this is the other thing as well, because the 8th house is the house of Scorpio, and Scorpio rules death. Interestingly enough, the tarot card for death is actually the card of Scorpio, and you know, that's because of the links to it. It's about transformation, it's about changing something, and because this is happening in the 8th house, I'm not saying somebody is just going to up sticks and drop down dead. I'm not saying that, you know, awful electrocutions and all sorts of things are going to take place. What I'm saying is it's definitely a possibility under this transit. You know, like I keep saying to everybody, it's not just here and now, it's a 7-year transit. You know, it's a very long and broad and far-reaching transit, and it may well be in that time that you lose somebody close to you. Let's see. I'm just being real here, because Uranus is sudden, and it's also the finality of change that is inevitable. You know, that's kind of a big one. With this transit, you will also be learning about the occult, as I've mentioned, but this will more likely be spontaneous happenings, encounters and interactions. You might find you might find yourself invited to places of spiritual or even secret knowledge. You'll be invited to learn the mysteries that hold this world together and their governing bodies. In short, magic will be a part of the next 7 years for you, and you will need to give it respect and understand that the secrets you learn are only for you and for those who earn them. This is the way of the craft of the wise. I was obviously, you know, channeling my inner 8th house stuff there when I was writing that, and that's the truth of it. Like I said, the 8th house is it's the house of magic. It's the house of, you know, the unseen forces, the unseen subtleties that bind everything together, and you are about to come into a wealth of spiritual knowledge, a wealth of magical, and you know, for some people it's going to be about energy. You know, it could be about that. For those of you that choose to study Reiki or healing in this time, you could find yourself coming across startling realizations about how to heal people, about how to tap into different realms, about how to tap into different energies and draw on different powers. You know, it's a really exciting time for you over the next 7 years, but it comes with, you know, the warning, the secrets that you learn are not just for you to go and start, you know, chucking out like rice, because over the next 7 years you are going to earn these secrets, and they are secrets. The secrets of the universe have to be earned through study, through peace, through reflection, through meditation, through practice, you know, through aligning yourself to the world around you. Taurus, the environment, the world around you. Uranus, the higher octaves of thought. You as a Libra are about the interactions between people, about the connections. If you know, apart from Aquarius, who better than a Libra to discover the things that, you know, the space between the onion skins, the bridges that hold things together, the you know, the subtle forces that are connections that not many people would see. You know, even in terms of the media and stuff, your keen insight, your keen ability to feel things and to see the subtleties and to draw conclusions and understandings that other people don't seem to see. You know, over the next 7 years, you could see yourself, you know, coming into a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of power in that respect. Delving into other people's psyches will be inevitable with this transit. What's most important is that, as well as the ability to even hear and see others' deepest desires and motivations, will come the greatest of responsibility, because using that insight for harm and also acknowledging your own deeper motivations and the reason that you do things will stop you from becoming a psychic tyrant. And you know, whether you're spiritual, whether you're not, I mean, part of you is, because you're already here, you know, listening to astrology and tarot with me. I say that, you know, with the utmost care and respect. If you have the ability to delve into other people's minds and their deepest desires and to draw that out of them, you also have a responsibility to treat that information with the utmost care and respect. That is the way of being a true human being. And then finally, this is probably one of the most interesting and potent and possibly dangerous transits of Uranus, because it deals with things that are so deep. And that's the truth of it. You know, this isn't going to be a trivial transit. I mean, there aren't any really, because Uranus is going to come in and it's going to fuck shit up wherever it is, you know. And that's not necessarily like, you know, it's going to destroy things, but it is going to shake things up. It's going to snap us out of what we're used to and what we know. Okay, so I would like to bless this deck with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So the first year of this transit will see you dealing with the Eight of Swords. Interesting, because you know, this is happening in your 8th house. 8, the number of growth, the number of expansion. Only by truly sitting still, only by truly listening, only by truly aligning yourself with the energy of this transit will you be able to learn the secrets. Sometimes you will feel confined, sometimes you will feel constricted by it. There will be moments where you think, why is everything slowing down? Things are slowing down and becoming still because you need to slow down and become still. And in that stillness, the higher octaves of thought, the realms of magic, the connections of the world that people don't see every day will start to become evident to you. The first year of this transit, Libra, you know, you're lucky, one of the lucky ones, I have to say, will be fairly slow for you. The first year of this transit will not, it will force you to slow down in order to notice and not to miss everything that is coming to you and everything that is being taught to you. The second year of the transit will see you moving. The second year of this transit will see, and not necessarily your home, however it could be, but this is more about you moving yourself. It's about moving your body. This will be about you discovering different parts of your body, discovering different parts of yourself, of your psyche. And the way that you're going to do that is through your sexuality and your sensuality, through becoming attuned to your body, through becoming attuned to your environment. You know, once you really get a handle on this stillness, on this understanding of what it means to meditate, what it means to contemplate, and your mind, you know, the Uranus part of you starts to really speak up and speak to that 8th house within you. You know, once you observe that stillness, you will then start to seek its opposite out there in the world. And this will be you, like I said, tapping into and delving into your own body, your own sensuality, your own sexuality, your own desires. With this card though, I always say, especially if you're partnered, it might be that these, you know, sweeping changes that happen, you know, give your partner time to adjust. Because don't forget, although this is happening within you and you're like, oh, well, you know, it's easy for everyone to say I'm changing, but try being me going through the changes. That's absolutely true. But remember, how people respond to you is about how they know you already. And if you're going through these huge sweeping changes, remember, it's not just you that has to change. They will have to adapt to this new way of you being. So ease yourself in and ease them in, I guess. The third year of this transit sees the Hermit. The third year of this transit is going to be about you really going deep. The third year of this transit, because the Hermit represents the sign of Virgo, and therefore it represents the digestive system. So this will be you really, I mean, you know, in the second year, this will be things like yoga. This will be things like awakening your Kundalini. This will be working with your chi, working with the real physical, earthy energies of your body and of your psyche. In the third year, you will be looking at your diet. In the third year, you will be really starting to think about what you eat, how you eat it, when you eat. Do you eat for the sake of eating, or do you eat for enjoyment? You will be thinking about utilizing your sexual and sensual energy in a really potent way, and you'll be thinking about directing it by conscious thought. In the fourth year of this transit, oh, beautiful. So in the fourth year of this transit, where usually most people have a challenge, you personally will be looking at expanding this, because this card's got links to Jupiter. The Six of Wands is the card of victory. It's the card of success. And it's like all of the changes that happen, that you implement within your own life, within your own self, in your own psyche, will start to bring you some kind of reward. They will start to bring you some kind of recognition, even, especially with this next to the Hermit card. It means that you will be successful in your endeavors. It also means that you will do very well if you align yourself to a mystery school, if you decide to join some kind of secret society, if you decide to join up with you know, anybody of spiritual or magical orientation or persuasion, and this sees you really advancing very quickly at it. The fifth year of this transit, sees the Page of Wands. This will see you traveling. This will see you taking it out there in the world. The Page of Cups is Page of Cups. All of the pages are very similar to the aces of their suit. And the Page of Wands talks very much about travel, but it also talks about performance. This, you know, for some of you, especially with the Six of Wands there, this could talk very much about you becoming, you know, really deciding that you want to share the things that you've learned. You want to share some of the schools of thought that you're going through, that you want to, you know, and this is interesting as well when we come back to the astrology. You will be learning the secrets by the direct tests, challenges and changes that are implemented in your life throughout this transit. What you share with people must be earned on their part. If you just start giving people these big sweeping you know, secrets and mysteries of life that you've learnt through your hard work, patience, diligence, work, you know, practice, time, honor, and you just start giving it away, that's a violation of natural law, because people need to earn that stuff. They need to be ready to receive that stuff. So be careful about what you share in the fifth year, you know, because you're going to want to travel. It might even see you aligning yourself with people abroad that have, you know, other things to teach you about the mysteries. Like, you can only learn so much in your place of origin. Eventually you need to travel out into the world. The sixth year of this transit, the Queen of Swords, an air sign female, so an Aquarius, a Libra, or this could even be you. In fact, each court card represents a specific sign, and this is actually the sign of Libra. So you've come up in your own reading in the sixth year, the year of victory, which gives you a lot of strength, a lot of power, and it enables you to really be sharp, to make hard and fast decisions, to be a brilliant business person. You will not be duped, you will not be used, you will not have the wool pulled over your eyes in any way, shape or form, in any of the deals that you make, in any of the business associations that you attach yourself and apply yourself and ally yourself with. And the reason that's not going to be possible for anyone to do is because this is happening in your 8th house. This is about your interactions, it's about your other people's money, it's about all of those things, and you will be able to see other people's deepest desires and motivations, and you will be able to stop them using those things against you, because you'll be able to see through them. The thing about the Queen of Swords is she is able to be very forthright. She's able to defend herself to the nth degree with a sharp mind and a sharp wit, but she's also very fair. She has links to the Lady Justice. And then finally, the 7th year of this transit, sees the Two of Swords. Now this is really interesting because the Two of Swords represents psychic ability. It represents trust in your feelings, trust in your gut, trust in your intuition. By the time this 7-year transit is over, now look at this. How exciting is this? Taurus is the 2nd house of astrology. Just to show you some of the things that have happened with the numbers here. And you got the 8 of Swords at the beginning. And then the 7th card at the end, you get the 2. You get the 2 of Swords. And the 2 of Swords is about trusting your feelings. It's about psychic impressions. This is about you discovering the true depth of how psychic you can be, about how powerful you can be, and more importantly, how precognitive even you can be. This is about you really tying yourself to the cosmic and universal forces and getting a really deep understanding of how to interact with the world on that level. Very, very exciting. Very exciting. Let me know how this plays out for you. Remember, like I said, this is a 7-year transit. It doesn't just happen tomorrow and then that's it. Dip back into this over the next 7 years. You know, ask yourself, you know, is this taking place the way, you know, that it said that it will? Is this information pertinent to me? You know, let me know what happens. Let me know how it plays out for you. For tarot and astrology research, you know, I will be paying close attention to the comments because I want to see how this plays out for people and, you know, whether the cards are backing it up and whether the astrology is backing it up as well. I wish you an abundance of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance itself. Have an amazing transit of it and I will see you very soon for more videos. Take care.